Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started with this lesson, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and ruled well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Yeshaya coming at you again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Back with another video, another lesson. This one I'm going to entitle it, People Are Fed Up with America's Leadership. Okay, and, we've seen what was going on in the last administration, right, with creepy Joe Biden, everybody hating him, what I'm saying, because of his mismanagement, his lack of leadership, his, what I'm saying, the list goes on and on. But now we're seeing the same thing being taken place with Trump being in office. But not only just Trump, but his cabinet. And his main cabinet member that everybody's talking about now is, what's his name? Elon Musk. Right? And which leads me to this article that I have pulled up. This is from RT News. Pretty much it says FBI launches domestic terrorism task force over Tesla attacks. So, my brother's been paying attention to the news. There's been a lot of these. Well, I don't know if there's been a lot, but I know there's been a couple of these Tesla factories that has been attacked. Pretty much been shot up, caught fire. I think Molotovs were tossed at these cars or whatever. But the main reason why I wanted to get this article, I seen brothers do lessons on those events that took place, but mainly what caught my attention was this. It says the FBI launches domestic terrorism task force over Tesla attacks. So now the FBI is bringing out that task force that brothers were talking about a couple years ago, right? That the FBI is creating, So now that we're seeing Trump coming into office, him going full throttle, what's it called? What they call it? Operation Warp Speed. Going hard on you tribes. Now we're seeing them start bringing out, these different, cards out of their hat, right? And we're gonna start seeing more and more of this, them using these special task force for a lot of things that we're about to start seeing: hacks, explosions, shootings, right? Because hey, we in these times, you know what I'm saying? We're coming into the times of the end where things is gonna start getting more and more hectic. Black Swan events, all these type of things, they're about to start happening in a more and more rapid pace, in a more extreme, right? These what they call it, 9/11 attacks. Expect to start seeing some of that here soon, right? But let me read a little bit into this article, and then we'll get some precepts. Lord willing, this will be edifying. Don't want to make it too long, but we'll see how the Spirit, guides us. So it says, the FBI has established a specialized task force to address a surge in violent incidents targeting Tesla vehicles, dealerships, and charging stations across the U.S. Excuse me. It says Slovakia, the acts, which include arson and vandalism, have been officially classified as domestic terrorism. So this is what they're labeling, this domestic terrorism, right? And, our apostles and our elders been saying this for the longest, that the United States government really label you Americans, the American citizen, as enemies. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are viewed as national security threats, right? So that's the reason whenever, all hell breaks loose and martial law gets instituted, they're gonna start rounding up people, man. Right? The NWO, uh, um, the laws, the legislation that is needed to bring this into full effect are being put in place, right? As a matter of fact, they probably already are in place. They're just waiting for, you know, certain things to, correlate. Really, it's all prophecy. Prophecy needs to um, come to fruition, right? For all these things to end up manifesting before our eyes. But let me get this real quick. I want to look up what this means. Domestic terrorism. It says domestic terrorism involves violence against the civilian population or infrastructure of a nation, often but not always by citizens of the nation, and often with the intent often with the intent to intimidate, coerce, or influence national policy. You see, and why is this happening? Because you have Elon Musk in a seat of what they call the Doge. I think he was like, I think now he's been made into an advisor. I need to look more into that. But, we've seen how he was making a lot of cuts on certain expenditures, as being part of that Doge or being the head of the Doge. He was able to make certain decisions as far as costs financially, and pretty much allocating those funds wherever he pleases. But these people are getting mad. They're upset, right? And they're taking matters into their own hands, right? These people have had enough. These the American population, American citizens, they're through. A lot of them don't got a pot to piss in, man. Their credit score has completely plummeted after the whole C-19, fiasco or demic, right? Um, some people lost their jobs. Some people, that had companies had certain business going on for them. You know, it's finished. They're done. They're through, right? And then you have prices skyrocketing. With cars, food, right? Cost of living crisis going around throughout the whole nation. Um, it's a lot of things that's affecting these people. You know what I'm saying? And then you got pollution. I made a video on all these, plastics in the food, pollution in the air, man. Everything is fucked up, man. And we're seeing these people that they're at their breaking point. You know what I'm saying? As soon as there's gonna be a time where that straw is gonna break the camel's back, and all hell is just gonna break loose. You know, you had that movie, not movie, but you had that TV show, Zero Day. It gives you a glimpse of just of 1 hour of the power grid being shut down, how all hell just breaks loose. Well, we're gonna start seeing that. You know, uh, uh, Power outages, power shortages. I remember this old movie, not old movie, but older movie, like um, in the late 2010s. I don't know exactly what year it came out, but pretty much going into what's that movie called? Cloverfield Paradox, right? And in the beginning of that movie, it shows you um, power outages, you know, uh, energy problems amongst the Western nations, right? People couldn't buy fuel. People couldn't get gas. You know what I'm saying? Electric bills skyrocket. Even if you were able to pay your bills for your electricity, there were still outages going on, right? But these are the things that we're about to start seeing, and we're about to start seeing these people start acting out, man. more protests, more riots, more of these shoot ups of these Tesla buildings, Trump places, right? You had this earlier this year that Tesla blow up in front of the Trump, one of Trump's buildings. I believe it was in Florida. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, man, hey, we're about to start seeing more and more of this, man, right? But let me read a little bit more. It says the 10-member task force includes personnel from the FBI's Counterterrorism Division, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the ATF, and intelligence analysis or analysts. The New York Post reported on Monday in a post on X, FBI Director Kash Patel said the agency was cracking down on those behind the attacks. It says the FBI has been investigating the increase of violent activity towards Tesla, and over the last few years we have taken additional steps to crack down and coordinate our response, Patel wrote. This is domestic terrorism. Those responsible will be pursued, caught, and brought to justice. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has become an increasingly polarizing figure since President Donald Trump appointed him to lead the newly formed Department of Government Efficiency, the DOGE. So just like I mentioned earlier, right? But as it says, Tesla CEO Elon Musk has become an increasingly polarizing figure. What does polarizing mean? Let me get that real quick. Because we're seeing a division. We're seeing, even amongst Trump's cabinet members, there's a lot of discussion, a lot of disagreement. But polarized, it says, restrict the vibrations of wholly or partially to one direction. So they're partially in one mind. They're partial. They're not united in one. It says cause something to acquire polarity. Let me see what else it says. Let me see what Merriam-Webster says. Right here, causing strong disagreement between opposing factions or groupings. You see, and that's what we're seeing. Things is getting polarized, but hey, this is what the scriptures talk about, right? As a matter of fact, let me see if I can get that. Miry clay. Slovakia. Daniel 2. Let me see. I'll start at 40. It says, "And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron," talking about the Roman Empire. "For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes," this is going into the revival of the Roman system, right? Pretty much the end of that beast system. It says, "Whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay, and part of iron. The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay." So pretty much this kingdom will be divided. And we're seeing that polarity taking place right now, right? To the point where it's spilling out into the masses, right? The scriptures talk about in the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, the as the ruler is, so are the people, right? We're seeing that the leadership is divided, so that division is being, spilled out into the streets, right? To where you're seeing this happen. People are fed up with Elon Musk and his policies or his actions, his the direction that he's moving, right? Let me see. It says since late January, dozens of attackers have targeted Tesla cars, dealerships, and charging stations in the U.S. and Canada, sometimes accompanied by anti-Musk graffiti. Right, because this man, as the Americans are starting to figure out, this man does not have your um, how should I say it? Is not looking out for your intentions. I mean, for your best and for your best, for your interests, Lakia. That was the word I wanted to get. He's not looking after your interests. You know, he's looking after the good of his company, of these top elites, these people in positions of power and high prominence, right? He ain't concerned about the small people, you know, the peasants, right? The plebs. You know, he's more concerned about how to line up their pockets, how to save money. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at what Donald Trump is trying to do, they're trying to implement that AI infrastructure, right? So again, at the same time, you know, they're trying to bottleneck people into having to submit into this beast system. And how better is how much and how and what better way than to start restricting the people, start cutting off the people from their benefits from living a good life, from living a normal life, so to speak. You know, because living in America ain't good. But my point being is that things is going to start getting more tighter. You know, to the point where people are going to want a solution to their problems. Going to want a solution to um, pretty much all the problems. But pretty much people are going to be wanting to revert back to how they were in the past. You know what I'm saying? That golden age, that hope, you know, for the future, right? Because people don't have hope for the future no more. People are have this grim viewpoint of retirement, of owning property, of you know, having that American dream. You know, this is a study that I did a video on I think a couple months ago, going into how people's view for the American dream. A lot of people don't believe that it's real anymore or it's unattainable, right? And that's what we're seeing. But anyway, it says there have been 48 reported incidents involving Tesla properties in March alone, with 7 currently under active investigation, according to the New York Post. The new task force has been tasked with investigating both past and recent attacks, including the discovery of incendiary devices at a Tesla dealership, excuse me, in Austin, Texas on Monday, and coordinating with local law enforcement agencies to prevent further incidents. So this is pretty much the point, right? People are taking matters into their own hands, but again, also the fact that through Donald Trump, we're going to start seeing more and more of these FBI domestic terrorism task forces, right? Seeing that this man is going to start implementing these draconian measures, going to start implementing these harsher and stricter laws, as we've seen him, you know, as soon as he came into the office, he hit the ground running, right? Signing off all these executive orders, and I believe he's still signing executive orders, you know, and there's more to come. So, hey, we're here, man. We're in these times. We're in the times of the end. This lamb with 2 horns is about to start speaking like a dragon, right? So let me see. Um, let's get Second Ezra's 15. Second Ezra 15 and verse 16. It says, hold on, let me see. Yeah, right here. Second Ezra 15 and 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Isn't that what we're seeing? Right? With all these domestic, so-called domestic terrorisms, right? These attacks on Tesla. You know, you just had, I believe it was last year at the end of December, the United Healthcare or some, I think one of the insurance companies or one of the health insurance guys, he got clipped, right, in broad daylight. So this is the what was going on right here, man. Right? It says, I'm gonna read this again. Second Ezra's 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. People are not concerned about the consequences uh, 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 of their actions anymore. People ain't concerned about what their politicians, their governors, their presidents got to say. Right? People are fed up, man. People are done. They're done listening to their kings, their princes, their rulers, their governors, their mayors, the police. Right? People are starting to realize the hypocrisy, the the tyranny, right? That's being taken place in these positions of power, right? People are realizing these people aren't fit for rulership. These people aren't fit to be in these seats, in these positions, man. And people are starting to rebel. But it says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power, right? It's going to be in the power of their hand, right? And it says, verse 17, and a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? Because all these domestic terrorisms, they're going to have to bring in martial law to put a stop to this. But this is whenever they're going to start rounding people up, putting them in these concentration camps, and getting y'all sea-hipped under the threat of death. Right? This is what we're coming into. We're seeing the stage being set. Right? Civil war. Right? When you read up here, verse 14. Woe to them that dwell, Salakia, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Race wars, right? That's what's coming too. Brothers seen the videos, on Instagram or on TikTok, can't remember exactly where it was located at, but pretty much you had Jake, arming themselves up because of these damn neo-Nazis, right? Talking shit, coming up in their neighborhoods, trying to, intimidate them. So this is coming, man. But again, I mentioned also a civil war. Let me get I believe it's Isaiah 19. Okay, right here. Isaiah 19 and 2, it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So we're going to start seeing that violence, that division spill out into the streets in the form of violence, right? Democrat against Republican, you know. Even amongst them, there's divisions. Even amongst the Republicans, there's divisions. Amongst the Democrats, there's divisions, right? Because you have these Democrats that are like these far left, extreme Democrats that are pro, LGB, the alphabet community, but you have some of those that are Democrats that ain't for that. You have some Republicans that are all about, saying Elon Musk and Donald Trump, but you have some that they don't fuck with Elon Musk, right? So these are the things we're about to start seeing, man. Heavy divisions, polarization, as we got that word. You see. Let's see. Let's get Mark. In the book of Mark, it talks about this. That division. If a kingdom be divided, as a matter of fact, let me just get it. Mark 3 and 24, it says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. You see? And we're seeing Esau's kingdom crumble before his eyes. It ain't got much more. It's on its last leg, man. There's nothing really holding this place together. Strings, threads, this place is ready to bust at any moment, right? It says, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Exactly. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I quoted this. Revelation 13 and 11, because like I said, that lamb is about to start speaking as a dragon through the form of implementing these draconian measures, applying these FBI, domestic terrorism task forces, you know, and we already know what it's going to lead up to, the persecution of the prophets. They're setting the stage. They're using what's it called, Order at KO, to be able to bring in these these resources, these types of drastic measures, so then they can be justified in using them whenever it comes down to dealing with us, right? But it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. You see, them two horns speaking about, Rome, uh, now known as America. But the fact that they have two parties. Back in ancient Rome, they had the patricians and the plebeians. Now you have the Republicans and the Democrats, right? So they play this two party role, two party, how should I say it? This two party, yeah, I guess you could say this two party role, giving you the illusion of choice, but really they're all two heads of the same coin, right? Or two faces of the same coin, however the saying goes. But it says, and he spake as a dragon, because soon, like I said, he's going to start speaking as a dragon. Let me see what dragon says. Dracon. Dracone. Let me see. But pretty much this goes back to one of the rulers of Rome. I believe it was Japhet, if I'm not mistaken. I believe so. Pretty much going into how he created harsh laws, like if you stole something, you had your hand cut off, or if you lie, or if I don't know, I think if you lied or said something to the king or some shit, you'll get your tongue cut off. You know, pretty much the point being is they were harsh laws, very, very strict and harsh rules, right? And that's what we're gonna come into, right? And that's what we're seeing with Trump coming into office. That's what we're seeing, right? Because this man is that cruel Lord, as it says in the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter, continuing on, right, from the second verse, or the third verse. It says, Isaiah 19:3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, right? And that's what's happening, right? It says, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards, right? So that's what we're seeing, really right now, starting with the population itself. They're starting to delve into witchcraft. More of them are starting to delve into this divinations and shit, right? Because the council, the leadership is failing. But verse 4, it says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and the fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. You see? And that's what we're seeing, right? Egypt has been given over unto a cruel Lord. This man has as soon as he came into office, he has proven that he does not give a damn about what your problems are. He's making them more worse, right? And then him, talking about tariffs and all this and that, and having the trade war with China, that's not going to do no good for the people here in America. The people here in America are going to have to pay for, all those tariffs, right? Because everything that America has, damn near 90% of that shit is imported. Your clothes, food, right? Produce, uh, um, paper, steel, finished goods, electronics. A lot of that stuff comes from overseas. China, Mexico, Canada, right? Which are some of the main providers unto America, right? But again, this is what we're going to start seeing more and more draconian measures, more and more hardcore laws, more and more riots, right? So yeah, man, that was pretty much it. I pray the lesson was edifying. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I'm gonna close it out by saying, Call Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Until the next time, I'm going to say Shalom. Kwame Shala.